Hello everyone, welcome back again to Angela's Craft Room. Today I've got this really fun shaker card for you. I wanted to do one for a child and it's not a Stampin' Up set, the images, but I just wanted to share how I created the shaker card. And I've used the Stampin' Up alcohol blend markers to colour in all my images, and it's just such a cute little set. It's actually from Fawn Lawn and it's called Monster Mash. I'll just show it to you. It's got these cute little monsters, and you can get the matching framelits as well if you want them. So I just think they're so super cute, and this is one of them that I coloured in with my alcohol blends markers, and I've glued a little party hat on this one in particular. So we'll get started, as I'd like to share with you how I actually made this one. Now, to start with, I've got a piece of Bermuda Bay, which is 11 inches long by 4 1/8 of an inch wide, and then I've scored it at 5 1/2 to make my card base. And then inside I've just put a piece of Whisper White, which is 5 1/4 inches by 3 7/8 of an inch, and I've just carried through. I'm going to be using this DSP on the front of my card, so I carried it through to the inside of the card, which it was just an offcut, and it fitted perfectly there. So it's 5 1/4 inches long, and I'm not sure how wide it was. I think it was about 1 3/4 inches wide, but that doesn't really matter how wide it is. It was just an offcut, and I just thought it looked good. You still got plenty of room here to write down, and sometimes it's nice just to follow through with the DSP that's on the front to the inside of the card. So that's our base already done, so we can set that aside. Then I cut a piece of Melon Mambo cardstock, and that's 3 7/8 of an inch by 5 1/4 inches, and then I had some layering rectangle framelits, and so I went ahead and cut out a rectangle. And then I grabbed a piece of DSP from my stash, and as you can see, I've already got tear and tape on it ready to go, but I'm going to stick my little monsters on here so you can see it through the window. So what you do is, when you put this on here, my tip is I put it on there like that, and then I just do a little pencil mark all the way around, so I know then where I want to glue my little monsters. Okay, so I'm just going to grab some glue, and I will just glue him in. So all these little images have been coloured with the Stampin' Up alcohol blend markers. I absolutely love them. They're just so easy to use. And just while I'm watching telly at night, I just colour in images, and then it's not such a chore when you go to make the card. So I'm going to pop that one about there. So he's within the pencil mark. So this is just how I make a shaker card. I just find it easier. Then my little one with the wings, I'm going to pop up there like that. So he's got wings, so I'm going to make it like he's flying at the top of my card. So you don't need too much glue. Just spread that glue out a bit. Then, as I said, I'm going to make sure I've got him within the pencil mark, but I'm going to put him right up the top there. He's just sliding around at the moment until that glue takes place. It's a good thing about the Tombow glue. But I think they're just such cute little images. I'm hoping to get some of the new Stamping Up stamp sets from the new catalogue very soon. But at the moment, I'm just showing you some techniques that you can do. So then we've got this little one-eyed monster. And I don't like to have them all at the same height and width and so on. I like to have them a little bit jagged. And then I'm going to just pop some glue on the back of him. Just spread that out a bit because that's going to slide all over my card. I can see that happening. But it's better than it being glued in one place. Just see where that other line is. And sometimes when I get these on, and I've put the sequins in and everything, and then the sometimes it hides a little bit of the images from the front, looking from the front, but that's okay. I just like to do my shaker cards in this way. I find it a lot easier, and I find that the sequins remain. They do shake around still, but one thing with shaker cards, they weren't my favourite card until I started doing them in this way, because I hate how they seem to stay at the top all over your images. Another thing that you can do also, that I did with the original card but I haven't done with this one, is you can put a coating of glossy accents on, oh not glossy accents, crystal effects over your images, and then you'll get this nice shiny image, and it's like a coating on your images, and then the sprinkles or sequins or whatever you use just won't stick, just will not stick to your images, because it's got that glossy coating, and they just simply slide off. But I didn't put that on these ones. Now I've got this real little cutie tiny monster, which I'm just going to grab a dimensional to put on the back of him. I wouldn't normally put a dimensional on an image that I'm using inside of a shaker card, but I just want him to, because he's so tiny, I just want him to sit above the other monsters. So I'm just going to put that up there because they're just all having a party and they're all jumping around. So I'm just going to pop that one there. And that leaves me with 2 images which I'm going to keep to put on the outside of my card. Okay, so then hopefully when we have it down, it's going to sit like that. So I'm just going to grab the pencil rubber and I'm just going to rub out those guidelines that I had just to help me know where I could put my images. So hopefully they will be seen from the outside. It's always a bit hard when you're lining them up. And then I've also got a piece of window sheet which I've popped, which I've put on there. So I'm going to remove this tear and tape. Like that, and I'm going to pop my sprinkles down the bottom, trying not to put any onto the tear and tape. That piece is just stuck on the tear and tape. Let's get that piece off. So just push them down to the bottom a bit because I want them to all stick, or not stick, but stay towards the bottom. It's not like how you'd normally do a shaker card and you'd put these all over the images. Just move those ones up from the tear and tape. Try and get my hand off without moving it. And there's one just there. So just put a couple over there. Sticky little devils they are. And then what I want to do is take the tear and tape off the window sheet . Like so. So it's always good to have this ready so you can see where you want I'm just going to move this very carefully. There's a bit of a static, they've just flown straight up in the air at me. So I'm just going to move this couple over on this side. It's not a hard card, but it's just a bit finicky at times. So I did get a couple underneath that tear and tape, but it should be right. I don't know if I can get that one. As you know, once tear and tape sticks, it's usually there for good, but I was just trying to get those ones, get that one out. Just get them off the tear and tape. I just want that tear and tape to seal, that's all. I don't want them falling out. And the main objective when I do a shaker card is to have my sequence more towards the bottom. So I'm just going to stick that down like that. Doesn't matter if there's a couple up there. So then we're going to pop that. The ideal is to pop that on the back of there. So I'm going to grab some tear and tape and we're just going to put it on the edge. So just on the edge. So it's going to really adhere to that front shaker part, and so it's not going to be coming off anytime soon, I can tell you. So I just want, because I do have tear and tape, remember, on the DSP, it's just that some of the tear and tape is being covered by the window sheet. So take that off. So that's off there. And then what I'm going to do is just bring my shaker part down, make sure I've got it the right way up that I want it, and I'm just going to position that where I want it and let that go down, and that will stick around there where I had the tear and tape. And you can see that I've got a little bit of DSP coming up the top, so I just need to trim that away. I wasn't watching, I should have brought that down a little bit, but that's all good. bit off. So that's the front of our card. And then it doesn't matter what the back looks like because that's going to go on the front of our card. And I haven't got any tear and tape on there, so what I think I will do is, what I'll do is I'll actually put some glue on the back of that. I just think I find it a lot easier to make the cards, make the shaker cards in this way. And I'm still going to put a couple of little monsters on the front of the card, and also a sentiment that I have already stamped to save time. So I hope you're enjoying my videos, and I really appreciate you subscribing to my channel. I really enjoy doing them. I hope it gives you some ideas what you can make with your stamp sets. And as I always say, you don't need the stamp set that I'm using. You know, it's more techniques a lot of the time that I'm showing you. So now I'm just going to pop that down, and I like to use Tombow because if I don't get it straight, I can lift it up and move it around a little bit, but that's pretty straight. So the base of this card is Bermuda Bay, and then this top piece is Melon Mambo, and I embossed it before I cut the middle out. I embossed it with the Woodlands Stampin' Up embossing folder. And the original one, I used the Woodlands embossing folder, so I'll show you that again in a minute. So then I've got this cute little lady monster, and I've already glued a little bow on her, and I've put a little pearl right in the middle of her bow there, and she's got dimensionals on her. So we'll just take the backing off those dimensionals. Now I have got a sentiment as well, which can go somewhere. I'll put that. I'm just going to pop her there. I have got one more monster, but I'm not sure that whether I'm going to put him on. So with this, I use the layering oval framelits from Stampin' Up, and I stamped it, sending you monster hugs, on a piece of Sahara sand, and then I cut the next size up with the scallop edge in Bermuda Bay, and just layered them together with some stamping dimensionals. And then I'm just got some stamping dimensionals on the back, and I'm just going to pop that sentiment. I'm sure any child would love this card. I'm sure they're all into monsters. And I have one more monster. Just not sure where I want to put him. Oops. He already has dimensionals on him. I might just put him off to the side there. Seeing he's all coloured, ready to go. It's a shame not to use him. And you can always add a little bit of Winker Stella clear if you want to. Just straightening him up a little bit. So I just had Stampin' Dimensionals on the back of him already. So that's how I make my shaker cards. So I hope that you find that technique interesting, and I'd love to hear if you give it a try. Now remember, this was my first one, so that was a base of Bermuda Bay, and the top piece was Rich Raspberry, and I embossed it in Woodlands embossing folder. And I've got the little monsters on there. And then on this one was Bermuda Bay, Melon Mambo, and a little bit of Sahara Sand there. So there's that one for you. So they're cute little cards. It is a cute set, but I'm sure you've got some little images that you could use and make your own shaker card. So thank you for watching, and I hope you will subscribe to my channel. And until next time, happy crafting!